The Sound Solutions range of systems are designed to enhance the acoustic environment within the home, both reducing the intrusion of unwanted noise and also allowing people to enjoy sound without the concern of disturbing others around them. GypLyner IWL is an independent metal-framed wall lining system for upgrading the acoustic performance of walls in existing buildings when optimum performance is required. The system requires a minimum 80 mm of floor space, but additional performance can be obtained by utilizing a larger cavity depth from the existing wall. Before we get started, let's take a look at the components and accessories used in the wall lining system. GypFrame 48I50 metal studs, GypFrame 40S50 metal studs for abutments and openings, GypFrame 50 FEC50 metal floor and ceiling channels, Gyprock drywall screws, which are used to fix 15mm Gyprock sound block onto the GypLyner IWL system, 15mm Gyprock sound block specialist acoustic plasterboard, 50mm ice-over acoustic partition roll, acoustic glass mineral wool insulation for positioning in the wall cavity, Gyprock sealant, which is supplied in foil sausages for sealing around the perimeter of the system to provide optimum acoustic performance. Now we will start to build the system. Start by removing any pictures from the wall. Lift any carpets, underlay and gripper rods. Use an oscillating saw to cut the short returns of skirting to the total depth of the lining being installed. Progress to remove the skirting board. Very often the plaster will not continue down to the floor surface, and there will be gaps between the floorboards and masonry wall. When this occurs, it is important to fill the gap at the floor level with thistle undercoat plaster. This will minimize any air leakage and improve optimum sound insulation when the new lining system is installed. Ensure all surfaces have been isolated by a competent tradesperson to enable works to start. Using a straight edge and level, we need to determine the standoff from the wall, either from the high point or taking into account any surfaces which may be located in the lining system. The greater the cavity depth increases the acoustic effectiveness of the wall lining system, so it is advantageous to set the cavity depth as large as possible. Mark plumb positions at both ends of the wall. Mark the floor and ceiling with a chalk line or laser level to indicate the position of the GypFrame 50 FEC50 floor and ceiling channel. Progress to fix the floor and ceiling channels at 600mm centers. Ensure you can gain a suitable fixing for the head track and, where applicable, use a screw length no greater than the floorboard thickness to ensure you do not screw through any surfaces within the floor void. Fix the GypFrame 48S50 studs to the perimeters using the appropriate fixing at 600mm centers. Position GypFrame 48I50 studs at 600mm centers between the floor and ceiling channels. It is important to note that the studs are not fixed in position at 600mm centers. Where electric sockets need to be extended and brought forward into the new lining system, use GypFrame service support plates. This allows a fixing for plywood pattracing, where applicable, when metal backboxes are installed. Using a short length of Gypframe FEA1 steel angle, suspend 50mm ice over acoustic partition roll in the cavity, prior to lining with 15mm Gyprock sound block plasterboard. Ensure the linings are sealed at internal corners around the perimeter with Gyprock sealant to provide optimum sound insulation from the lining system. Measure the height of the 15mm Gyprock sound block board required. Mark the board and cut using a handsaw or a retractable safety knife. Fix the base layer of Gyprock sound block at 300mm centers to the stud sections and top and bottom track. For the second layer, start with a 600mm wide board to ensure the joints are staggered between the base and second layer. Continue to fix the second layer at 300mm centers. Job done! Your lining system is now complete and ready for plastering or jointing before skirtings are fixed into position.